So today was the second and last day of Ocean Week on Capitol Hill, which has been affectionately called CHOW for the 25 straight years that they have been having it. And I gotta say, honestly, calling it a Bluetech Expo would have been more appropriate, because when in past years these panels have been about the state of the science or the state of the crisis with the oceans, priorities for targeted interventions and mitigation, this one was all about trying to court the billionaire boredom class into building underwater sea habitat pods and ocean gate type of technology, with an occasional scientist participating in a panel. And I talked to two of the staffers there, because for some reason, as soon as they handed me my badge, they slapped a media tag on it, which is, I'm a scientist first, but whatever, I'll take it. So I got access. And I asked them if this was normal, and both of the staffers told me that this year's event had been kind of tailored to the current political climate. That was a specific quote from one of those two women. Both agreed that the kind of content and overall aim had been modified because of the current administration. And I got secondary confirmation from one of those two later today that all of the guests and the panelists and the speakers were gently reminded to try to avoid topics or buzzwords that may be considered offensive to the current administration. And what ended up happening because of that is that we had in over an hour-long sessions on about the state of U.S. fisheries, which was for some reason called like red, white, and blue fish, which was kind of going along with the idiocy of the current Congress and current leaders, in which climate change, which is the single greatest issue facing U.S. fisheries right now, was only mentioned once in over an hour, and it was mentioned as a positive. And honest to God, that to me speaks so loudly to this moment. It's really heartbreaking to have gone from the AAG here in DC, which is the AGU, which is the American Geophysical Union, which is the penultimate conference for scientists across the whole world, which was here in DC just last December, to go from that and then like 6 months later, not even, be experiencing what is supposed to be Ocean Week, which is another allegedly scientifically centered event that is supposed to do everything from update on the status of what our government agencies are doing, to also informing legislatures. And there were a couple of legislatures who had representatives who were there for Ocean Week. I talked to a few of them. A couple of them were from Florida. And there was even one congresswoman from Maine who spoke, and she was probably the best part of the whole event. But this is a critically important event. And just look at the agenda and how little to do with science it actually had to do. How little to do with science the speakers had to do. And it's really, it's scary and it's heartbreaking. I mean, this is the precursor to the United Nations Ocean Conference next week in France, which I am leaving for like Friday morning. And we did not discuss anything of significant value or change or action. And there are a lot of the people there were Sea Grant alumni. I'm a Sea Grant alumni from Louisiana, who are what's left of those programs. A lot of them are fellows who have gotten some of the most prestigious awards and opportunities in this country, who have no idea whether or not they're even going to be able to finish the week there. But the work is so critically important. And not only did we muzzle all of the experts who did show up, but we replaced a lot of ocean science and climate change experts with tech bros who have backgrounds in finance to talk about courting the bored billionaires of the world so that they'll invest in the new frontier of exploration, which is apparently the deep ocean. And I mean, if ever there was a poignant time to release an OceanGate documentary, apparently it was this week, and I watched it the night before, completely, and having no idea that's what this was going to be about. And it's sad. America is quickly falling behind on the global stage with science, and that is a damn shame.